Happy Saturday. Happy. How are you? Welcome. Hi, Shelly. Hi, Heidi. Hi, Elizabeth. Who's here? Robin. I don't have my glasses on. Erin. Yay. Fran Bass. Hello. Hi, Joanne. Deborah. Suzanne. Hello. Anne. Everybody is here. Lisa. Hello, Lisa Cruz. Melissa. Jessica. Hi, guys. Welcome. Christine, I see all of you. Welcome. Happy Saturday. So excited to be here. Let's jump right in. Let's see, I'm recording, so we're good to go there. I got my headset in. Let me make sure it's loading. It is. Okay. How are you? I've got a brand new workout scheduled for us today, which I'm excited about. I just worked it out this morning. You are going to need, as always, some dumbbells. You're going to need a circle band, a handled resistance band. You're going to need athletic shoes, as always. Always. I want you wearing athletic shoes because it really sets you up for a good, stable foundation. Hold on one second. Let me get my camera a little more. There we go. That's better. Bear with me one second because I want to make sure that I've got it really set up well. I have a slightly different camera set up today because I'm trying to punch in a little closer so that you guys can see me. I think that will do it. Hold on one second. Please make sure you've got some water nearby. And as I said, make sure you've got some athletic shoes on. Okay, if you're new to my workout, please say hello. Let me know you're here. Introduce yourself, say hi, use the chat box. Stick around after because we will be taking questions and meeting face-to-face and saying hello. I'll be answering any questions that you have about today's workout or really any other, let's call it any other fitness matter. I'm going to mute everyone so that you can feel comfortable making noise on your end. If you can, put some music on because it makes it so much better to have the music on. So if you are new, if you want a harder workout than what I'm doing today, you're going to move faster, do more repetitions, use heavier weight loads, and do more sets. If you need a more gentle workout than what I'm doing today, you're going to move slower, take longer rest phases, do fewer reps. You can absolutely do all these exercises with just your body weight. You don't have to use weight loads on a lot of these exercises. I try to modify as much as I can. Let's get started. I'm so excited for our workout. I have finally figured out the perfect morning routine that fuels me for these workouts. And so therefore, I have been looking forward to them even more so because they feel so good. Let's take a deep inhale up. I want you to stretch way up to the sky. Exhale out, 2 more. Now, as you get your arms up and you inhale up, way up, I want you to really lengthen up out of your torso as if you're lifting your body as long as possible, lengthening out your spine, lifting for the sky. Exhale, 1 more inhale. We're going to stay up. Exhale, and I want you to actively reach up towards the ceiling as high as you possibly can. I want you to aggressively reach and lengthen more and more and more. Activate by thinking about lengthening the distance between your ribs and your hip bone. Stretch out that space to activate the transverse abdominis muscle and relax. Bring one hand down and you're going to activate and lift up using your right hand for support, reaching up to the sky. And then I want you to just rotate your torso as if you're looking under your left arm to open up, stretch the muscle, activate a little bit the postural muscles, but also lengthen the hip flexor. Just a slight rotation as if you're trying to open up through your chest. And inhale, exhale, same on the other side, reach super high and long, rotate around, hold that stretch, make sure that you're breathing. Pelvis is tucked under slightly, stomach nice and tight. Both hands up, inhale. I want you to interlock your fingers, bring them behind the base of your head, and now bring your elbows towards each other by bringing your shoulder blades towards each other, opening your chest, stick your chest forward, hold for that stretch, and relax. Feet separated, let's come into spinal rotation. I want you to very conscientiously Squeeze your glute on the leg that's straight. So left glute here, left glute here, right glute there. So when that leg is straight, point the toe, really squeeze your butt cheek on that side and let your spine rotate. You really should be able to look all the way behind you as if you could turn a full 180 degrees and just let those hips rotate a little. It releases tension, opens them up, gets you warmed up. It's also really balancing for the hips and the spine. One more. And relax. Let's take it to a side-to-side lunge. Pretty much do this every single preparatory sequence, coming side to side. This is indispensable. This preparatory move right here is everything. You should be doing it every single day. It's just great for balancing out the body. You get an incredible stretch on the adductors. And if this feels perfectly comfortable and fine for you, let's take it deeper, all the way down, from the bottom to the top. Press off your heel. So press off your left heel, there. Right heel, there. Drive into the heel with a very little action in the toes. If your toes start to wander in a more open position, I want you to bring them back so that the toes stay mostly parallel, unless you feel active discomfort in your knees. Really press into that heel, really keep your toes relaxed. Sit deeper, sit a little deeper for me. One more, and relax. You're gonna, well, you don't have to turn to your side, you can stay front if you want. I'm gonna turn to my side so you can see me. Coming into one of my favorite stretches, I want you to reach way up, come down into a crouched position. Feet together. Let's first work just a little bit of forefoot and toe mobility, coming onto the balls of your feet, and then just rocking your body forward. If you can bring your knees to the ground and tap down, please do so. It depends on your foot arch toe mobility. For some of you, this might be really uncomfortable, and for some of you, this might be easy. If this is easy, make your 4 feet touch. Then bring your heels together and keep your heels together as you rock back and forth. If this is really excruciating for you, you can literally just hang out here and just spend a few moments in the discomfort. I know this could be painful on your toes, and I know you might be like, that can't be good for me. It actually is. If this is uncomfortable, you need to be leaning into this discomfort because it's how you will fix that mobility in your 4 feet. Couple more. And let's step back to hands and knees. I want knees under your hips, toes tucked under, hands under your shoulders, round your spine, open your spine. Continue back and forth at your own pace. I want you to exaggerate the opening arch. So here, exaggerate that arch. Ooh, make it good. Really arch and activate that lower back, tilting your pelvis up to the sky. And then I want you to exaggerate this, the rounding. Really exaggerate the rounding, bringing your chin into your chest, lengthening out your spine as much as possible. Let's do 2 more. Exaggerating the arch and exaggerating the rounding. 1 more. And we're going to go into the greatest stretch in the world. You've got some options. Fingertips, fists, palms. You pick what works for you, or a combination. You're going to come back into a modified downward dog here. It doesn't have to be perfect, not a lot of technique, but you are on the balls of your feet. Your heels are lifted. So press into the balls of your feet so that your heels are pretty far off the ground. And what you're going to do is you're going to step forward, coming into a lunge, letting your back knee drop to the ground. Step back and repeat on the other side. We're going to do this a few times, okay? This is a great preparatory sequence. We did this last week. I've been doing it all week long. I absolutely love it. Remember, find whatever hand or finger position works for you. And if you need to move more slowly than I am, that's fine too. You can work this in stages, okay? So let that back knee drop to the ground, opening up the hips. Thinking about opening your body in the front here. You can move more slowly, you can move faster if you want. Whatever your body needs today. And let's do 2 more. 1 more. Now, I want you to step forward and hold, step forward. From here, you're gonna sweep up into a stretch and just hold and breathe, okay? Hold and breathe from here, reaching way up to the sky. And then from here, you're gonna rotate towards the leg in front. So if your leg is in front, if it's your left leg in front, turn to your left, bring your hand back to tap your heel if you can. Come back up, and let's come down and stepping back to that down dog, bringing the other foot forward, coming into just this lunge stretch for a few seconds, and then you'll turn to the side of the leg that's in front. So if your right leg is in front, turn to your right, hand comes back to the heel, if you can. If you can't get here, it's okay, it's a big stretch. And come back up, and let's repeat. So now we're just gonna flow through these a few times. Other leg, coming up to first stretch, we beat for a moment here, open, hand to heel, beat, come back up, beat, down and switch. Move at your own speed, alternating sides. Deep lunge, beat, open, hand to heel. Is that not amazing or what? It's intense. If this is hard for you mobility-wise, I want you to work at this. We're gonna do 1 more on each side. Other leg forward. Oh, it's just heaven. So many things going on in this sequence. I don't even know where to begin, honestly. It's so good for you. And step back, other leg, 1 more and we're done. Enjoy that stretch here. Oh, that's good. It opens up the hips. It's activating the glutes. Really great rotation here, getting into the hip flexor. So good for that back foot that is in full flexion. Inhale up and relax down. From here, just step forward and let's do that crouch again. Mobility, I call this just mobility crouching. You're just in this crouched position, rolling back and forth. Simply by working on this for the past, I would say 2 months, the pain in my toes and my forefeet has reduced by about 70%. It's almost completely gone. The start of this year, this was excruciatingly painful for me, and now I'm to the point where I can actually do this, and there's no pain for me. Now there's just restriction. So it really is so important for the foot health, lower leg health. From here, I want you to roll up as soon as you get up there, lift your knees 10 times, please count it out. And we're gonna get started. You're gonna need a circle band right now. And that's it. So we're just gonna start with the circle band. So we're gonna be working in supersets today. 2 sets back to back with no rest in between. Your job is to count out your own 15 repetitions, especially when we're doing unilateral. 15 on the right, 15 on the left is a total of 30. You're in charge of counting. We're gonna do 2 exercises back to back, take a rest and repeat 2 times. You are invited to repeat the superset 3 times if you would like. First 2 exercises, grab your circle band. We're starting down on the ground. I'm gonna demonstrate the first 2 exercises and then we'll go together. That way, those of you that are moving faster than me, you know what the second exercise is. Band just above your knees. First exercise, let me change positions. Yeah, let me change positions. I have a little bit of a downhill here and it really changes how these exercises work on my bod. Okay, so first exercise, elbows into the ground so that your shoulders are back and down. Shoulders back and down, okay? From here, we're gonna come up into a bridge, holding it. Now, option 1 is to just hold this bridge. Option 2, extend one leg, that's 1. 1, 15 repetitions on each side. 2, 2, 15 repetitions on each side, a total of 30 reps. Exercise 1. Exercise 2, we're coming over into an elbow plank. Hands can be parallel or in a fist. And from here, we're coming into a plank And then we lift one leg and lift the other leg. Same thing, 15 on each side for a total of 30. Short break in between the sets. Let's go. Let's start with that glute bridge. On your back, elbows into the ground to help you pull your shoulders back and down. Chest pops up into the sky. Heels are shoulder width distance. Come up into your glute bridge with your butt tucked under, and you're gonna hold it here. If this is challenging, I want you to stretch your band and just stay here and hold. But all of us are stretching the band. From here, let's extend one leg out, relax down and switch. Please count out a total of 30 repetitions as we do this. So what I want you thinking about, driving your elbows into the ground so that your chest stays up. I want you to think about keeping your pelvis in space at a height without dropping into it. So basically you want to try to keep your hips at a stable height, even though your legs are kicking out. So the leg is kicking straight out in alignment with the opposite thigh. We're not kicking up into the air. It's in alignment so that the band, technically the band shouldn't be moving in space much. We're just alternating, coming into a single leg glute bridge. Now, every now and then, you'll want to reset and then continue. So you'll notice every now and then, I reposition myself before I go in for a few more reps. I tend to reposition about every 6 reps or so because it's a challenging exercise and you start to lose your technique. Really drive into the heels, keep your pelvis tucked under, popping those hips up, abs drawn in. You probably are going to feel a little bit of activity in your lower back. That's normal. I think we have probably a couple more here. 15 on each side is 30, or fewer or more, depending on your fitness level, okay? And when you're done, we're gonna come down and flip over for that plank exercise. Elbows under the shoulders, hands are parallel or clasped. You could also do this with extended arms if you want. Stepping back into plank, drawing in, holding a really good plank here, and then you're just gonna lift one foot and alternate. Again, 15 repetitions on each side. Really stretch that band, use your glutes, but also, I'll tell you a secret on this exercise. You can also just hold this too. If it's too challenging for you to lift a leg, just hold, okay? But I'll tell you a secret. When one leg lifts, you should actually be thinking about powering into the leg that's on the ground. So I don't even think about the leg that's lifting. I think about the leg that's supporting me, because that's actually the leg that we're working out here. Okay, the leg that's getting the action is actually the leg on the ground. And of course, your glutes are going to be getting some stuff here too, because you're stretching that band and lifting that leg back. So again, remember, 15 repetitions on each side for a total of 30. And then we're going to take a short rest. Those of you guys that want to do 3 supersets today, you're not going to rest in between. Heidi, you're my counter, okay? So I'm going to keep an eye on you. So those of you guys that want to do 3 supersets today, I so encourage you. You are not going to take much of a rest in between exercises. You're going to go from one to the next, to the next, to the next, okay? So we take a short break here, and then we're going to do a second superset together. Some of you are going to do a third superset. Now, if these first 2 were totally doable and comfortable, get yourself a heavier band, or on this exercise, I want you to really keep your hips up super high, and you can also pause longer when that leg is extended. That's how you make these 2 exercises harder, is you pause a little bit longer, okay? And you guys are gonna have to deal with me touching my face today. It's like gnat season, and there are so many gnats swarming around me, and they keep like getting in my eyes. So if you notice that I'm doing this a lot more today, that's why. It's like there's literally an army of gnats around me right now, which you probably can't see. Okay, let's go. Second set. Elbows pressing in so that you can pop your chest up. Heels are shoulder width distance apart. Come into your glute bridge. And now remember, if this alone is challenging for you, please stay here and just hold an isometric glute bridge and focus on stretching that band. Remember, every now and then I want you to reset by bringing those hips back up, and then you continue, okay? Really keep a slight tuck under on your pelvis so that your glutes are firing. And because we move into a single leg position here, you actually are going to feel it in your quads on the leg that is stabilizing you. So whichever foot's on the ground, that leg, the quad, the front of the thigh, you're going to feel it activate. So you should feel the majority of this, you should feel in your glute, then you should feel a little in your hamstring, and you should feel a little teeny tiny bit in your quad, depending on how functional and strong your quads are. And remember, you could do this without a band if you want. If you're newer and this is challenging, just get rid of that band and perform the same exact exercise without a band, or just hold your isometric glute bridge. Couple more here. 15, you're responsible for counting out. 30 total. Couple more, and then we're going to go into that plank. And relax down, switching into plank whenever you're finished with your reps. We all move at different speeds. Absolutely okay for you to move at whatever speed serves you today. Elbows under the shoulders, hands. I really do like hands in a clasped position because it gives you just a bit more foundation. Elbows should be about shoulder width distance apart. Coming back into your plank. Get yourself in a really stable, solid, good plank before you move. Power the leg that is staying on the ground. Try to keep your hips stable in space. We don't want them going up and down too much. They're going to adjust. Sure, it's a great idea to think that your pelvis wouldn't move at all, but that's pretty darn advanced. Chances are your pelvis is going to move and adjust a little each time you change your leg, and that's okay. It is bug season. Holy moly, there's spiders. Oh my gosh, this little spider just keeps coming back for more. Go over that way, buddy. Go over that way, buddy. Oh, he's an ugly one too. Keep those hips as stable as you can, knowing that they are going to move. If this is easy, pausing longer at the top, really squeezing through your glutes. Few more, 30 in total. And when you're done, you're just going to relax, coming into a bit of a child's pose, just to relax for a moment. One of the things I love about that exercise is it's also a really nice arm and shoulder workout. So for those of you guys that are doing 3 supersets, hop to it, get right into your third round of those 2 exercises. I'm going to move on and demonstrate the next 2 exercises. You can get rid of your circle band. We're going to be using a resistance band or dumbbells. If you have a barbell at home, you could use a barbell for this next exercise, and then you need dumbbells. So you want a band and dumbbells or just dumbbells. First exercise, when you come up off the ground, please lift your knees 10 times. First exercise is going to be RDL with a band. If you want to do this with dumbbells or a barbell, go for it. Take your time now to set up your barbell. But I'm going to demonstrate with the band. We haven't done RDL with a band for a while, and it's such a good exercise. So placing your band on the ground, you're going to step on it, and you're just going to make sure that you've got equal tension in your handles. And you do that by just bringing them up without tension and seeing where they land on your legs, okay? So you can see that this side is a little higher. Just make sure you've got equal tension. Adjust your band, okay, till they're equal. From heels are about shoulder width distance apart. You're going to need to choke up on your band a little tiny bit. And from here, our RDL looks like this. You start with a slight bend in the knees, an arch in the back, let the hips rotate back, and the band is going to pull you down and you come right back up. So basically the band is just sliding your hands down your legs, but here at the bottom, you got to have that arch in your lower back, okay, and come up, squeeze the glutes. That's the first exercise. Second exercise is going to be a single arm. We're going to do a single heavier dumbbell, one single dumbbell. I'm using a kettlebell because it's the heaviest that I have, but you can use a dumbbell. And so from here, we are doing one arm press overhead. I encourage you to go for the heaviest weight that you have, or something around 10, 15, 20, 25 pounds here. This should be a challenging exercise. Then we'll repeat RDL, do the other side. For those of you guys that are doing 3 sets, your last set will be a double arm overhead press. Okay, let's go. RDL with a band. As I said, you could do this with dumbbells if you prefer, or a barbell. If you're using a band like me, make sure that it's equal. Bend your knees, arch your lower back. Here we go. Hips reach back, come up, squeeze your glutes. Reach back. You definitely really want that arch, a slight arch in your lower back here at the bottom. Reaching those hips back in space and then tucking the pelvis under at the top to really squeeze the glutes here. Slight arch in the back. Technically, this isn't even an arch. It should be your natural lower back spine. And your natural lower back spine has an arch. So that's why I say arch your back. It's not that you want to overarch your back. You want a natural lumbar curve here. So you want some curvature. You do not want a flat back. Don't make that mistake when you hear people in the fitness industry, you know, exercise instructors will cue you and they'll say, keep a flat back. That's really just a misunderstanding and a misnomer. You actually don't want a flat back ever. I don't even know where that saying came from, but I made the mistake of cueing that way for years until I blew out my back doing deadlifts because I was trying to keep a flat back. I'll never forget, I was in Los Angeles, the downtown Gold's Gym. I was doing RDLs in the mirror and I was like, no, keep a flat back. And I flattened out my back and boom, I blew it out. It's not what we're doing here. 15 reps. Probably done about 15. You'll know when I do more than 15, it's because I love the exercise. And let's go on to that single arm press. Grab yourself a heavier dumbbell. Feet are under the hips. One arm straight up over your head, coming down. At this bottom position, keep a little tension here. So don't release all the way down. Keep a little tension. The elbow does come down towards your hip, but you don't want it to totally relax at the bottom. And when you press up over your head, the dumbbell should end either directly over that shoulder or really a little bit over the head. So there is a bit of an inward angle. We go up and we kind of go inward so that the dumbbell stops, directly right up over your head. Center of your body. 15, one arm only, and then we'll take a rest, and then we'll do our second set of RDL, and then we'll do the other arm on this exercise. Feels good, right? See, when you're doing it unilateral like this, you can go a bit heavier. Oh, it's so good. So good. Heidi, that's a good alternate for you. Just keep working on your mobility on that other side. And relax, short rest. We're going to get ready for our second set of RDL. If your first set was easy, figure out a way to make it harder. Maybe you choke up more on your band. Maybe you use a heavier band. You can switch to dumbbells or use a barbell. So good. Short little break. And then we're going to go into that second set, 15 reps. If you're doing 3 sets, your third set of overhead press will be double armed, okay? So you'll just turn it into a bilateral move for that third set. Okay, you guys ready? Second set, RDL, knees bent, natural curvature in the spine, and let's go. Counting out 15, squeeze your glutes at the top. Really reach those hips back, sending them back. It's as if someone is standing behind you and they've got a rope around your waist and they pull on that rope right here. They pull that rope to bring your hips back. If you're doing this right, you should feel something in your hamstrings, the back of the thighs. It could be a stretch. It could be activation. It's a great glute exercise, but it really does incorporate the hamstrings also, which is why I love it. This bottom position here is one of the most important positions. Anytime you're bending over to do something, you want to be in this position. But what happens is most people flatten out, round out their back. They round out their lower back whenever they're bending over. And that's where we get into trouble. A couple more here. And then we're going to go into that single arm press. And let's do it. Grab that heavy dumbbell. If your first set was not challenging, actually, no, scratch that. Grab the same heavy dumbbell because we're doing the other arm. Feet under the hips, pressing straight up over your head, 15 reps. Keeping a bit of tension at the bottom of the move. Straight up over the shoulder, and then it kind of shifts inward so that the dumbbell is ending either directly over that shoulder or over the crown of your head or somewhere in between. The key is it's not up and out. A little bit of tension at the bottom. If your weight isn't heavy enough for you, pause at the bottom. Give a little pause here with tension on the muscle before you press back up. Elbow is slightly in front of the body, all right? Elizabeth, I think you could bring your elbow forward just a tiny little bit. I can't totally tell if it's the camera, but let me show you guys from the side. So you don't want to be pressing from here, okay? You actually want your elbow slightly in front of your body. That protects the shoulder. It's in the frontal plane of the body and it's not directly out at the side. That's another common, yeah, good job, Elizabeth, good job. That's another common mistake that people make on this exercise, which will also injure your shoulders. I did that for years too. Guys, I've made every mistake in the book until I really learned, until I wrote the book on strength training. I made all the mistakes in the book until I wrote the right book on strength training for women. Okay, short little break. We're gonna go on. Let me show you the next 2 exercises so that if you are ahead of me, you can. Okay, you're gonna need a dumbbell, but this time you might want a slightly lighter dumbbell than what we just had. Maybe 5 pounds, maybe 8 pounds. You've got 1 dumbbell. Let me show you from the front so you can understand it. Feet together. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna step back into a split squat. So the exercise is a split squat and you're gonna be holding a dumbbell over your head. So if your left foot is behind you, your left hand is holding the dumbbell. So the same leg that's behind you is the hand that's holding the dumbbell. And we're gonna drop down into a split squat and press. Down and press. We're gonna do 15, okay? And then we're gonna do our second exercise and come back and do 15 on the other side. Those of you guys doing 3 sets, you're gonna have to do half and half. So that's the first exercise, split squat for 15, holding a dumbbell. And then the second exercise, grab your band again. They're called band pull-aparts. Separate your band evenly. I find it best to wrap around my hands so that you have a tiny bit, just a little bit of tension, maybe a little soft about here, and then we are pulling apart, sending the hands straight out to the sides while your chest simultaneously presses forward. So it's here, chest presses forward, hands end directly out at your sides, and the band comes across your breast line. That's your second exercise. Let's start. Grab a dumbbell, hold it in your left hand, feet together, soften your knees, stepping back to find your comfortable split squat position. Left hand is up over the head. Here's your start position. And from here, we're gonna drop down and press up for 15. Use the dumbbell that feels right for you. If this is too hard for you, you can get rid of that dumbbell. And if this is too hard for you, you can also bring your hands to your front leg to support you. Modify as you need to. But if you've been with me here, gosh, guys, I think we started this back in March. I have to go look, I can't believe it. But if you've been with me for a while, you've been with me every Saturday, you should be getting stronger, and you should be able to do this without holding onto your front leg. But if you need to hold onto your front leg, it's totally okay. I do want you getting stronger and working up towards the full expression of these exercises. Grab your band. You want the tiniest little bit of tension when it's here. Feet are shoulder width distance apart, and from here, you're just gonna pull that band apart. It's called a band pull apart. And while you do that, the arms come straight back in space, parallel to the ground, and your chest presses forward. You'll know you're doing it right if the band touches just along your chest line. All right, so it should be right just slightly above the widest part of your chest line, right up, like just above your nipple line, but not all the way up towards your neck. That means you need to drop your hands, okay? So your hands are at the same height of your shoulders, and that band comes and presses against your chest just above your nipple line. 15. One of my favorite exercises. Couple more. Short break. Those of you guys doing 3 sets, move right on to your second set, doing your split squat on the other side. Short break, getting set up for that second split squat on the other side. And then those of you guys doing 3 sets, you'll do half and half, or you could do 15 on one side, 15 on the other side for a big set as your third set. Okay, so let's go. Second set, a split squat, feet together, dumbbell in your right hand, step back, get into your comfortable split squat position here, hand up over the head, take a moment to really get aligned, and from here, you got 15. I find with split squats, it's really important to get into the perfect position so that you're really settled in and stable. Little nuances of feet position, exactly where you are on that back foot, how far away you are from your front foot, all those little nuances, it's really helpful to just kind of fiddle around until you get into what feels like the most comfortable position that's possible. I mean, this is just a hard exercise, so it's never really probably ever going to be comfortable, but find those nuances that make it more doable for you. 15, I realize I'm probably doing more, but they feel so good today. And relax, let's go into those band pull aparts. If that first set was easy on your band pull apart, you're going to choke up on your band a bit more. So you're going to provide more tension from the start here, okay? Abs drawn in, shoulders back and down, and then you begin. Shoulders back and down is going to help put that band in the place we want it. Shoulders back and down. Really activate. This is a great exercise for the posterior deltoid, back of the shoulders. Really incredible shoulder health exercise. For those of you that are practicing push-ups, this is a great preparatory exercise before push-ups. And it's also a really great physical therapy exercise to do to support a better push-up practice. I'm not a huge fan of push-ups, but I know people do them and we've done them here. So if you're going to be doing them, I at least want you doing them safely. This exercise really helps to stabilize the shoulders back in place so that when you're doing push-ups, the shoulder doesn't roll forward, because that's how you get injured. Short break. That was 2 sets, I believe. Yes. Going on to our 4th superset. We're going to be doing walking lunges. You can do them any way that you want, with your body weight only, with dumbbells, if you've got a barbell, whatever works for you. But I'm going to have you do them where I want you to step through, step together, step through, step together. So you're tapping, it's a pause step. I want you doing that. Each time you pause step, here you squeeze your glute of the leg that was in front. So let me do that again. If you're stepping on your right leg glute. Left leg glute. Right leg glute. Okay, so you end the exercise with a full hip stop. Add dumbbells if you can. Second exercise is a tricep dip. You're going to need something to do it from: a chair, a bench, a stair, something. If you don't have something to do your tricep dip on, you're going to do it this way. Not ideal, but you can do it. Hands are behind you, feet together, and you basically just do a modified tricep dip here on the ground. It works. It's not ideal, but if you really work your technique and really drive your elbows back here, and you let your upper body bend a little at the bottom here, you're going to get some good tricep work, and it's also really going to protect the shoulders. Otherwise, I would prefer that you're sitting on something: a bench, a stair, a step, feet off, feet together, and we're doing a proper tricep bench dip, keeping your chest up. Okay, so let's get started on walking lunges. Choose whether you're going to do body weight, or if you're going to add some dumbbells to it, or if you're more advanced and you want to add a barbell across your shoulders, please do so. 15 reps on each leg, 30 steps in total. I'm going to do them with you because it's my favorite exercise of all. And just so you know, I'm going to go off camera a little to do my lunges because I'm so excited to do them. And I have this little pathway here that is the perfect place for lunges. So let's go. So now remember, whichever leg is in front, you're going to squeeze that glute to finish out the move. Squeeze that glute. It's a front leg exercise. So I want you really listening in and paying attention to how you're using that front leg. Lean into it a little bit. Drive into your front heel as you step. No pressure on those front toes. All about that front leg. Take your time. You can move slower than me. You can move faster than me. Do whatever you got to do so that it feels right, okay? $30 in total, 15 on each leg. This is an exercise that really benefits from your mental focus. I would actually say walking lunges, maybe out of all of the exercises, you're going to get so much more out of it the more you think about it. So I'm very conscientious in how I use my body when I do these. Thinking about where is the pressure on the front foot, thinking about driving into that front heel, thinking about really finishing off the move with that glute squeeze. Probably a couple more, and then we're going to go right into Sorry, I'm all over the place. Hold on, where are we going next? Tricep dips. Okay, so after you do your 30 steps, going into tricep dips next, I realize that walking lunges, we all move at different speeds on them. So if you're still doing them, if you need to take a little breaks, do whatever you gotta do. Don't worry about the timing here. You know, next exercise is tricep dip. And I'm actually gonna go way out there. You see that? See that chair way out there? I'm gonna go use that chair because it's out there. So I'm gonna use it. Tricep dips, 15. Hope you can still hear me. So what we're gonna do, feet together, chest lifted, shoulders back and down, still. Drop it down, lift your chest. If you have to do this on the ground, totally fine, like I demonstrated before. A-OK, no problem with that. And if you can do it with a raised surface, like I am, go for it. Just please keep your chest lifted. I know at the bottom, your chest wants to roll under a bit. Don't go too deep. If you're watching me, just know I have very healthy shoulders, thankfully, knock on wood, and I'm able to go to quite a depth on most of my shoulder exercises very safely because I've been practicing it for so many years. But on a tricep dip, you actually might not want to go too deep to protect the shoulder, okay? 15 reps, short break. Heidi, are you skipping them? Yeah? Okay, good, I'm glad. Yeah. Good, checking in on you guys. Heading into the second set, that second set of walking lunges whenever you're ready. So I wanna encourage you guys, use some weights here. So even if like, this is more of a recovery workout for you, you might even be able to hold 3-pound dumbbells, maybe 5-pound dumbbells. I wanna push you guys a little, okay? Especially if you've been here with me every Saturday, you're ready. Remember, as we always talk about, today, you wanna push yourself 20% harder than today's fitness level. If you do that, you will safely, progressively overload your ability, and next week you're gonna show up better, okay? Let's get ready for that second set. Find your weight load that works for you. Walking lunges, please work at your own speed. Lots of thought, lots of mind-body thought connection here. Okay, it's a front leg exercise, 15 on each side. Oh, I don't want them to end. I've been doing, a couple times a week, I've been doing 2 sets of 50 body weight walking lunges. And let me tell you, it helps. I'll tell you what though, they are a lot harder to do downhill. Wow, downhill walking lunges, hard stuff. You'd think uphill would be harder, but it's not. Downhill is a lot harder. 15, getting ready to go into those tricep dips. Whew, ready? Remember what we talked about. Keep your chest lifted, shoulders back and down. Be careful about your bottom angle. Don't go too deep. I would prefer on this exercise, I would actually prefer that you guys are half-assing this a little to protect your shoulders. So if you need to not go quite so deep on this exercise to keep your shoulders super happy and healthy, I'm cool with that. Just make sure at the top, You really lift your chest high. I just had an idea for you guys. Okay, short break. Those of you guys doing 3 sets, get on it. You badass. Get on that 3rd set. Okay, we got 1 more superset, and then I have an idea for you guys. I'm gonna stick around after our workout. If you wanna stick around with me, after we do a quick little Q&A, I'm gonna do a set of 50 walking lunges, body weight. Maybe I'll do 2 sets of 50 body weight walking lunges. So if anyone wants to do a walking lunge workshop with me after the workout, stick around, okay? And we'll just do it for some extra body weight lunges, and I'll explain why I'm proposing this, and I'll also explain the benefit of that so you understand the concept. Next 2 exercises are on the ground. You need a heavier dumbbell, and then you need moderate weight dumbbells for a dumbbell chest press. So what we're gonna do is, actually, I retract that. Grab 1 heavier dumbbell. Maybe it's 10 pounds, maybe it's 15 pounds. You're gonna work with 1 heavier dumbbell. Let me show you. First exercise, we're gonna continue with some unilateral work. First exercise is a single arm chest press with that heavier dumbbell. Now, I'm using a kettlebell because it's the heaviest weight that I have. So please use the dumbbell. You could use a kettlebell too, that's fine too. But it's not that I want you to use a kettlebell. Use maybe 15 pounds, maybe 12 pounds on this exercise. You'll do 15 on 1 arm. Then, second exercise with that same dumbbell, we're coming into lying dumbbell pullover. All-time fave, all-time fave. Then that's your first set. Second set, we will then do the other arm, and we'll do the second set of these. Those of you guys doing 3 sets will do a double bicep chest press. Okay, you guys ready? Grab your heavier dumbbell. It could be 8, 10, 15, 20. Some of you might even be able to do 25 pounds here. It's a single arm press. Pick whichever one arm you want. I'm gonna start on my left arm, but to you, it's gonna look like my right arm. Just remember which arm you're starting on so that your second set, you do the other arm. So let me, I'm gonna rotate so you guys can kind of see, hopefully see my arm position a little better. You want your hand to end over your chest, but you want your elbow, when it's on the ground, we actually want your elbow slightly below your shoulder. So elbow is not in alignment with the shoulder here at the bottom. Here at the bottom, elbow is below shoulder. Then you draw a diagonal line and the dumbbell ends over the middle of your chest or over that side of your breast. So if you're pressing with your left arm, the dumbbell would end over your left breast or the center of your body. 15, that's probably about it. And then from there, you're gonna take that dumbbell and we're gonna go to lying dumbbell pullover, driving your shoulders back and down, exaggerating the back end if you're on the ground like I am. So really hover that weight a centimeter above the ground and really pause there and hover for a solid 2 seconds if you're on the ground like I am. If you can use a bench, please lay on a bench because then you get a couple of inches above your head and it just makes the exercise a bit harder. On the ground, you really have to use your ability to maximize the exercise, and that's where that pause is really good. You do want to keep a hair arch in your lower back here. Again, you don't flatten out your back, right? There is a time and a place to flatten out the back on some of these exercises. Again, what we're trying to do is we're trying to improve in strength training. We're trying to improve your body's natural ability at holding itself in space, okay? So we're strengthening your body to hold itself in neutral position, and neutral position on the lower back has a slight arch. So you want to strengthen around that. There is a time and a place to flatten out your back on some exercises where you're laying on your back, but it is a hair more advanced, and we're not going to get into that today or here. Short break, chest press on the other arm. For those of you that are doing 3 sets, your third set of chest press will be double biceps, a proper normal chest press, not a single arm chest press. So getting ready for that second set. Ooh, I got a big spider. Ooh, he's scary. Whoa, that is a scary spider, you guys. Wow, you are scary. Get away. Oh my God, look like a tarantula. Okay, here we go, other side. Straight up over to the center of the body, or like I said, it could also end directly over the breast of the arm that you're working. Really think about driving through the palm of your hand at the top. That just adds to that pectoralis major, which is your main chest muscle. Really adds to that chest activation here. Big press. Big press. Remember, at the bottom position here, elbow should be lower than the shoulder. Elbow should be closer to your hip than it is your shoulder. No, that's not true. Elbow should be heading towards your hip so that it's below your shoulder. Okay? Couple more, 15. I realize I'm probably doing a lot, but it feels so good. And I need this exercise so bad. This exercise is so good for you. Okay, going into that second set of lying dumbbell pullover, exaggerating and really taking advantage of that back angle here. Slight pause. Keeping your neutral arch. Just a little bit of arch in that lower back. Shoulders are backing down though. You know how I always say over and over and over and over and over and over and over, shoulders backing down, shoulders backing down, shoulders backing down. Here, shoulders backing down like crazy, especially when the dumbbell is up over your head. Okay, when that dumbbell is up over your head, you actually need your shoulders to be anchoring towards your hips because that's what's going to protect the shoulder, but it also is what loads the lats and your triceps. This is a really great tricep exercise. I know I'm doing a ton, but I really need this exercise today, and it's just so healing on my body. And oh, by the way, it's one of the best exercises that you can do for your abs. It's a great ab exercise. Those of you guys doing 3 sets, go to it. The rest of us, that is it. So let's just bring knees to chest. I'm going to take you through a couple stretches. Knees to chest, and then just kind of gently rock side to side. Why don't we do 1 set of a dedicated ab exercise? I know we did plank at the beginning, and I know we've been incorporating our abs in this workout, but why don't we do 1 dedicated ab exercise here, and then we'll wrap it up. Once again, this workout just like flew by. I got to tell you guys, I've gotten my nutrition really dialed in, and it has made a huge difference in my ability in these workouts. My morning nutrition routine has really changed, and I just feel so much better and so much more powerful in my workouts. It's unbelievable. Okay, so from here, let's go. Let's see, what have we not done for a while? I know, feet on the floor, knees bent, hands at your head. From here, you're gonna just cross over, alternating sides. Elbow to knee, crossing over. Now, if this is easy for you, I want you to exaggerate getting your shoulder up off the ground and really moving your torso up and away from the ground. You got to exaggerate with your upper body. You can also cover less distance with your leg so that your elbow has to cover more distance. So stop your leg short so that your elbow has to reach farther. We're going to do 15 on each side, which is 30. And we're probably at about 8 on each side. We're about halfway through. Make sure that you're really lifting with the strength of your abs and not just lifting with your upper body. A few more here. And rest. Bring your knees into your chest, and then I want you to just bring your knees over to the side for just a nice spinal twist, and then opening out and looking towards the opposite direction of your knees to just bring a really gentle, awesome spinal twist. Opening up that chest, you're going to get a little stretch in your chest, and you might feel it a little more because we just did that chest exercise. Knees into center, same on the other side. Just drop them over to the side, and then open your upper body and look in the opposite direction to your knees. And then from here, just roll towards your knees, and I want you to sit up, come into a comfortable position, and then bring the soles of your feet together, not too close to your torso. Let your knees release to the ground, and then I want you to just collapse and relax forward. Just relax forward, letting those knees release. It's normal if one knee is a little higher than the other. Just let those hips open up and just relax into it, letting your chest collapse down towards your feet or towards the floor between your legs. Just really think about releasing, relaxing, collapsing. You're not pushing, you're not straining, okay? Not holding your breath. Like, this is really, it should be relaxing, releasing, gentle, soothing, melting. Easy, just falling into this stretch, super, super gentle, letting those muscles release out, and you'll notice that they will. If you approach your stretches very gently, you'll notice the muscles just melt, they just release, they relax, and that's what flexibility is about. Legs forward, feet forward, big inhale up out of your waist, exhale, come into a forward bend, whatever that means for you. If your back is rounded, great. If your back is straight, great. If you can completely fall down onto your legs, awesome. If you're more upright and your knees are bent, just come into a position where it feels like you're getting a little stretch and it feels good. Okay, it feels gentle and relaxing. And even if it's not like you want to stay there all day, even if it's a little bit intense, it should still be manageable. And you should still feel like you can kind of relax into this position. I'm actually really tight on this exercise. Part of it is because I'm always working and reworking certain nuances in my body. My flexibility is pretty good, but on this exercise, it's not. And that's normal. You know, that's okay. Some of us have really good flexibility on this exercise, on this move, and some people don't. Mine should be better, but I have not been working on it. And so there we are. And relax, sit comfortably. Take a nice deep inhale up. Exhale it out. Let's go one more. Inhale it up. Exhale it out. Thank you so much for joining me. Happy Saturday. I love, love, love having you here. Happy Saturday. I'm going to take a couple quick questions, and then I'm going to do a little walking lunge workshop. Hold on. There we go. I had to take and depending on what your skill level is with walking lunges, I'm going to do, I think, 50. I might do more, one set of 50, one longer set, and I'm going to explain why in a minute for those of you guys that stick around. And if I'm here by myself doing it, that's okay too. Any questions, please pop it into the chat box. I'm going to look there first. And if you want to join me on camera and have a chat, you can unmute yourself. Hi, Natalie. Hello, everybody. Hi, Deborah. Let's see. Deborah's got Tropical Storm Laura coming in. She is in Puerto Rico.
Christine, I think the flat back cue is to remind people to not round their upper back. Like you say, shoulders back and down, the better. Yeah, absolutely. But you know, the funny thing is, it's like even your upper back should never be flat. Your upper back has what's called the thoracic curve. And so your neck, your upper back and your lower back all make an S curve. So none of it should ever be flat, right? That's why I'm like, who came up with this flat back concept? I think it goes back to the 60s or the 70s. And then we all just kept regurgitating it. And it wasn't until I got injured that I was like, why am I telling people to keep a flat back? That's all wrong. It's just a wrong cue, you know? So anyway, Natalie wants to know how I've changed my breakfasts. Natalie, that's a really apropos question. So the Nutrition Project kicked off last week. And as part of that, I have been also workshopping my own nutrition. And here is how I changed my breakfasts. Number one, you guys, this was like huge for me. I used to get up in the morning and put caffeine on my system empty. And even though it was a light green tea, wasn't working for me. So what I did is I swapped to, I get up in the morning and I do the turmeric sweet potato latte, which has perfectly balanced macronutrients. If you guys did the Learn to Eat challenge with me, I shared that recipe. So I get up and I have a macronutrient balanced breakfast. And then I do creatine with carnitine. And then right before my workout, I eat two, they're called spicy love balls. It's a recipe inside of the Nutrition Project. They are these little no-bake oatmeal chocolate chip balls. And I eat two of them before my workout for fuel. And boom, I'm on fire. And then I have a big proper meal afterwards. So that combination of the morning routine plus a little bit of black tea is like putting me on fire. And as a result, I feel like my body is changing. Okay, great. So good to have all of you guys. Natalie says these workouts are the best. I agree. My bod's getting into better shape because of them. I agree. Walking lunges, Natalie, stick around for the walking lunges. So happy to be back. I know, Erin, so happy to have you here. I hope you'll do walking lunge workshop with me too. Millie, yay, you are the best. Oh, I love you guys. Love all you guys. I know Lila left, but so glad she was here. Okay, any questions? Feel free to unmute yourself. And if you can't, raise your hand and I'll unmute you. Oh, so fun to see all you guys. Crystal Lindsay, how are you? Joanne, Yana, Fire Tablet. Wouldn't that be fun if that was your real name? Fire Tablet? That would be a good name. Okay, guys, those of you that want to stick around, so happy to have you guys. So love you guys. For real, guys, yesterday I was on the phone with a client and I had my exercise tights on and I put my hands down and I was rubbing my legs and I was like, my legs are getting into better shape. Like I've got new kind of muscle in my legs. And in that moment, I was like, it's because of the Saturday workouts. And then midweek, I'm also doing a live workout with the women inside of the Glutes Project. So I've been doing a live Glutes Project workout midweek. I've been doing this on Saturdays. And then I've been doing my other workouts on my own. I do one other workout that kind of looks like this workout each week and the walking lunges. And my legs are like coming back. I'm super excited. So, okay, guys, we are going to do a walking lunge workshop. Let me put my headset back in. And then what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to move my camera. Bear with me one second. Let me get set up, okay? Ooh, Kathy says, any of you want to take your fitness to the next level and join me for the Nutrition Project? I'm telling you, it's going to take your bod to a whole new place. You can still join. We're just going into our second week this week. Eventually, I'm going to have to close the doors firmly, but I am letting a few people sneak in late. So if you feel like joining us, please do so. Okay, so I'm going to do it. Actually, hold on. I'm going to change it so you guys can see me a little bit better. We're going to do it this way. That way, I think you're going to be able to see me a little better. Okay. Okay, so here's the deal. What we're going to do is, let me just explain quickly why I do walking lunges. So walking lunges are an incredible therapeutic exercise because they mimic what your body is doing all day long and walking, right? So
we're walking along, right? All day long, we're walking along. We're walking, we're doing our things. That is an exaggerated walking lunge. So what walking lunges do is they reinforce and strengthen your natural movement patterns in all of the mobility, flexibility, muscle balance, body alignment. It does so much for your body. So we normally do them in a strengthening capacity where you would add some weight, but you can also do them body weight only as a mobility function exercise. And that's what I've been doing. And so what I've been doing a couple times a week is I'll do like 2 sets of 50. I'll do 50, rest like a minute, and do another set of 50 for 100. And it's amazing what it does for your body. So pick a number that feels challenging for you. And I'm going to tell you, we do these a little bit differently. So what we do is, hold on, I got to find a place that's like, let's try that. I think that's going to work better. So what we do for these kind of walking lunges is they're just a little bit slower. So you make them a bit more deliberate and you do them a bit slower. Okay. You can even pause for a second here with your knee gently on the floor. You can use your hand on your front leg. The point is to come into the walking lunge position, but we do them a little bit slower because it's almost, oh, I came off camera, sorry. It's almost like a stretch. It's almost like a preparatory exercise. So let me come back here and I'll do it a little bit more. And so what we do is we literally, you just take your time. I'm on really unstable ground, just so you guys know, if I'm like falling all over the place. But I tend to use my hand on my front leg unless it gets to the point where I just don't need it. I pause at the bottom for a moment with my back knee on the ground so that I can really drive into that front leg. And it also, this position right here is unbelievable flexibility for the back leg. So even exaggerating this position for the back leg is so valuable. So pick a number. I'm going to do 50. You can move slow, count them to yourself. We'll see how we feel. Maybe we do a second one, but maybe you just go back and forth in space. Do whatever feels right. Move nice and slow. I'm going to do them in this direction, I think. Okay. And the thing that you want to think about is that it is a front leg exercise, but you want that back leg, you want to tuck under on your pelvis here on this bottom position. So back hip tucks under before you stand up. Back leg tucks under. You're going to get a little bit of a stretch in your hip flexor. Don't over exaggerate because we want a stretch on that back leg, but we also don't want to injure the hip flexor. I'm going to say that I've done 10. That's 11. I don't even know how many I've done. Squeeze your glute at the top, okay? So remember, just like I talked about in the workout, squeeze your glute of that leg that's in front. You do a pelvic tuck. Driving into the front heel. And I'm going to say this is 24. I'm going to say that's 25. I'm at 30. I'm going to do 50. $35. $10 more-ish. $5 more. Always those last few, huh? Oh, last few. Oh. And short break. I'm gonna do one more set if you guys want to stick around. And if that's too much for you, please stop. And if you have any questions, unmute yourself and let me know. Doing them this way Like I said, it's really more of a mobility practice. It's incredible for foot health, toe health. Because I've been workshopping these and really, really, like I said, at the bottom of your lunge, your back leg gets this like tucked, flexed position. It's going to bring you into serious forefoot flexion on that back toe. So your toes are really going to come into a bent position. And I've had a lot of people say to me, I can't do walking lunges because it hurts my back toes. That's exactly why you should be doing walking lunges, because we got to get those toes opened up. And even though they hurt like hell and they're immobile and you think they're not going to move, you can actually make them better. And as we get older, that is such an important part of your overall health. Foot mobility and toe flexion is so important. So if you can't do these because your back toes hurt, I need you to practice 4 a day, just so your flexibility and mobility and just kind of like muscle activation gets integrated. So if you guys want to join me, I'm going to do one more set because they're so healing. And I got to tell you, like, I'm positive that my toes feel better today because of these 2 things, walking lunges and that crouching foot mobility exercise that I've been doing with you guys. It seems like it's a silly thing. It's so not. All right, if you're doing it with me, pick your number. You don't have to do 50. 50 is a lot. And if you can, or you want to do more, go for it. I used to do 10 minutes nonstop walking lunges when I lived in LA. I would literally do lunges down Beverly Boulevard in Los Angeles, and I would do 10 nonstop minutes of walking lunges at one point. My body never felt better. Let's do it. I don't know if you guys can hear me breathing, but my exhales will tell you the speed that I'm doing these. I exhale each time I lock my glute. So when I step into that front leg and I lock my front glute, that's when I exhale. I lost count again, but I'm gonna do 10 more. That's probably about right. Oh, all right. 2 sets of 50, or however many you did. High five. Do you not feel amazing? Make sure you get yourself a post-workout replenishing meal, some protein, some carbohydrates, a little bit of fat ideally. I love having you guys here. That was so fun. If you have any quick questions while we're wrapping up, please let me know. You can put it in the chat box. You can also unmute yourself. Deborah, are strength training and weight training synonymous? Yes. Yeah, Natalie says these seem very effective even without the weight. They absolutely are. So, hold on. Millie says she loves walking lunges too. I love it. So yeah, Natalie, so yes, walking, as I said a minute ago, we can do walking lunges for a couple of reasons. One, when we add weight, we're doing them in a strengthening fashion. So we're really progressively strengthening the movement pattern. But doing them body weight only, you're still strengthening yourself. But when we do more, like 50 repetitions body weight only, it's a bit more of a mobility workshop, and it's also a bit more to just improve the mechanics of the movement. You're definitely going to get stronger, absolutely, but it's a different kind of effective, and it is, I would almost say, equally effective, even though it's a little different. Heidi, were you gonna say something? Go ahead.
Yeah, I was wondering about the creatine. Like,
Yes.
do you do a scoop, and do you notice that it can make you dehydrated or give you excess water weight?
I do not. Okay, so here's the creatine thing, guys. There are different kinds of creatine. I was taking crealkaline for years, and for some reason, I feel like lately it wasn't working for me. So I switched to creatine monohydrate. Creatine monohydrate is supposed to cause water retention. I don't find it's doing that. They also say, if I understand correctly, women, it doesn't cause water retention for women, but for men it does. Supposedly, I don't know if that's true. I'm not an expert on it, but I don't notice with creatine any negative. I find it's a miracle in my body. I feel I stay hydrated better. I recover better. I feel stronger. I don't have the hunger after my workouts that I normally do. I swear I'm putting some nice new muscle on my legs, and it's because I started using the creatine again, and because I dialed in my nutrition around my workouts. I mean, I can't stress that enough. I'm positive the reason why I feel good right now and we could do that extra mini workout is because my nutrition was right. I did take creatine. So I'm taking creatine monohydrate. I'm using Optimum Nutrition brand, their basic creatine monohydrate. It's so inexpensive. I'm taking 4 capsules, which I think is a lot, but I love it and it works great for my body. So what I do is I take 4 capsules with 2 capsules of L-carnitine on an empty stomach, and then I take a little bit of carbohydrate with it. Today I ate probably a cup of watermelon with my creatine and my carnitine, no protein. Okay, so I had my turmeric sweet potato latte for breakfast. And then about an hour later, I did my creatine and carnitine with a little bit of watermelon because the carbohydrate helps those amino get in. Half an hour, let those soak in for about a half an hour. And then I ate 2 of, it's called a spicy love ball. It's inside of the Nutrition Project. It's basically a macro balanced, no bake cookie dough. It's got some chocolate chips in it. It's got some oats in it. It's got some protein. It's got some fat. I ate 2 of those. Bam, I'm on fire. And now I need to go have a proper meal. I'll have a really proper meal. So creatine, I don't notice anything, but you are like me. You have a sensitive body. And so I think A, you should muscle test it. B, you should see how you feel. Okay. If you could buy it at a place like Vitamin Shop, where if you don't like it, you can return it and they'll give you your money back. You know, find a place that you could buy a bottle, try it out, buy a small bottle. I don't notice any of those problems that people talk about out there in the world, but I'm also not taking it every single day. I'm only taking it 2 times a week, maybe 3 times a week before a bigger workout.
Okay, excellent. I'm glad it's working.
Yeah.
Good.
Did that answer your questions?
Yes, thank you.
Okay. Oh, that's hilarious. Kathy Connor says her cat Tex participated after Tex had some catnip today. I think that is hilarious. So cute. Any other final questions? So fun. I love you guys. I love having you. We will be here next week. And I think it's also quite possible we're going to be continuing our little hangout a little while longer because I absolutely love it. So stay tuned, but I definitely will see you next weekend. If you have a friend that wants to join us, please invite her. And yeah, I'll see you guys this week. Happy Saturday. Enjoy your day. Bye. Bye, Elizabeth.